Hey, I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
What I wanted to say is that I've been watching you for a while, Bismarck. You probably haven't seen any of my reactions. I'm a streamer as well, or I used to be a streamer. I did a few reactions, but I pivoted. I started talking more about business. I started an online company. It's a application because I'm a developer. Before I get into it, I have had a moderate level of success. I mean, watch McLaren. But I'm just trying to get to that next level, both with my content and my business. So I don't know if you want me to start with the business or the content first.
Yeah, tell me about the business. What's the application about so we can then get into the content?
As you might have seen, I have a newborn, and I've been a developer for 6 years, and I got laid off, right, from a big company. Got laid off. Took me 6 months to find another developer job. But while I was laid off, I started thinking to myself, why the hell am I working for like $200,000, $300,000 for some guy to make them rich when I can do the same thing? I have the skills. I've developed apps myself. So it's time for me to take some initiative and start building my own application, right?
All right.
So the first idea I had was, just hanging out with my girlfriend. We had our child. And I'm thinking, I'm sure the difficulties that I've had as a parent, a new parent, many other people have had. So why not create an app that provides value to new parents that need help with their kids, right? And why not use AI to capitalize on the knowledge base that it already has in order to assist those people with whatever struggles they're having with their kids? Okay. So I started this company. It's called Nurture AI. The website is trynurture.com. And to be honest, we just launched maybe like 2 weeks ago. And I'm just struggling a little bit with like the marketing angle of it, right? I've been running Facebook ads. I'm looking for content creators to do UGC, but I feel like coming from the position of being like a worker and like following instructions, having your own boss, not really looking into the marketing of the company, not really understanding like the consumer psychology that you need to have in order to get people to subscribe in mass. I feel like I'm stalling, and maybe I'm just being too tight on myself because it's only been 2 weeks. We have about 50 users so far, and I just started running ads this week. But I just want to know, like, what would your advice be to, kind of like change the mindset from being like an employee worker to being like a CEO? Because the other issue I've had is that throughout my life, I've started multiple small businesses, but I always peter out of energy because I end up doing everything myself. I find it very hard to delegate the tasks to other people because when they start working, I just look at the quality of the work and I'm like, I don't feel satisfied with what they're having. But at the same time, I put myself in a situation where I'm doing everything and I burn out.
Yeah, that's a very, very common entrepreneur problem. First problem with the marketing is the thing about being a CEO, and what people don't realize till they start building their own business is that you have to put on many hats which you're experiencing. But before you launch any product, right, you're supposed to develop the marketing. So you came up with this idea, right? What exactly? Now, sell the app to me. If I have a kid like yours that's crying in the background, what is this app going to do for me?
So this app is for parents that are overwhelmed, right? 3 a.m, you wake up, your baby's screaming and crying. You don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know if it's teething. You don't know if it has a fever. You don't know what the problem is. You're able to go into this app, and based off of the data that we've collected on your child so far, the AI that's in the app will be able to determine the likely causes of the child's fussiness and give you advice, tell you who to contact. If it's an emergency, it will tell you it's an emergency. But basically, it's like having your own pediatrician in your house.
Gotcha. Okay, so why would I use the app instead of just maybe using Google?
Because the information that the app gives you is tailored to your child. So
if I didn't know you, and this is how we're going to figure out the marketing, if I didn't know you, right, walk me through this process. Why would I be even interested? What are the selling points? What is the unique selling mechanism of why I should use this app and start giving you information about my child to begin with?
So I thought about this one as well because there is like a trust barrier. In the beginning of the app, we do an onboarding. It asks a lot of questions, and throughout the usage of the app, you're prompted to answer questions as you go. To answer that one, That's a difficult question for me to answer because I feel like it's just a trust. They just have to have trust in the value the app provides, which I don't know. You got me. I don't know. I don't know.
So the better way to reverse engineer this is you have to figure out one problem of, because you're not solving, it's not an app for babies, it's an app for parents, like you're saying, right? So you got to figure out what is the one issue that either the mom, the dad, them both are having, that they're like, oh my God, this is the app that I've been waiting for. It needs to be something so specific. It can't be just that broad, like, oh, a pediatrician on your phone. It needs to be something specific that your app does. And that's what most apps go viral from. That's why they blow up. It solves one thing that is not readily accessible on the internet. It solves one issue, right? That makes people say, damn, that's something that I would definitely pay for. So you got to figure out what is that specifically.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough because I feel like I have like a blanket use case.
So
but
actually, why is your child crying right now? Do you know?
I think she just wants attention. I mean, I just kind of put her down to jump on the call.
Okay. So it needs to be something around that. Like it needs to be some, okay, yeah. What is it that's my app gonna do, right? That is gonna make a parent go, you know what? That's it. I'm confused about something. It solves this issue.
More than anything, when I did the market research for competitors, right? I looked at like a Huckleberry. I don't know if you ever heard of Huckleberry app, but it's an app that's similar. And my angle with my marketing was that it was a simplified Huckleberry because Huckleberry had like a bunch of graphs and like it was like an information overload. Mm-hmm. So I've just been going with that basically as my tagline, a simplified parenthood app. But to answer your question, I feel like I'm gonna have to sit down and really think about it because I don't know like a specific use case that would be like the key component that would bring people in.
And that's what you need to do before you launch a business or brand. And it's something I wish I could go ahead.
I do want to say one thing though. Before I launched, I did have originally a person who was supposed to help with the marketing, but every single step of the way, they failed. So we needed to launch the app on the App Store. You need to have like a privacy website and you need to have terms and conditions website, right? So I told them like, yo, I need you to build the website. Here's the marketing information. All of this was generated, packaged by Claude. Here's all the information you need. I gave the person like 2 weeks. And when I come back to check, the website was literal trash. Like it looked like it was a website from 2016. So then I went on Claude. Mm-hmm.
How much did you pay the person?
They bet.
How much?
Caveat here. I told this person my idea and they begged me to join the team. So the agreement was.
That's why you get what you pay for. They begged you to join the team. And the app was trash. And I mean, the website was trash. Come on, bro.
Well, see, this is the thing. So I was just giving them an opportunity because right. I ended up having to create the website myself. But the thing, Bismarck, is realistically, though, it took me an hour to make. If you go to the website, it looks extremely professional. It took me an hour to make it with Claude Code. So I'm thinking to myself, like, yes, I get it. I'm not providing value to this person right now. It's more of an investment of their time for the future. But it also wasn't that much effort that was required to do the tasks.
But you're very good at this. You're a developer. So you understand programming language. You understand how to pick up technical things quickly. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to get people that are good at the things that you're not good at, or else you will always be policing them because you end up being better than them.
So that goes to point number 2, though, the marketing angle, because this person supposedly was an expert at marketing. I tell them, go ahead and generate the Facebook ads. And here's a list of influencers that I did research on. Go reach out to them, contact them. Let's offer them $3,000, $4,000 to promote the app, right? And weeks went by. They didn't do that. I pull up the Facebook ad campaign. I look at the ad campaign. It was literally, again, it looked like it was from 2016. So I went back. I went to Claude and I generated an ad that I'm running right now that looks extremely professional. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, like I get that the person's not a web developer, so they can't make a website. But Jesus, you're a marketer. You're supposedly a marketer. You and your wife have a marketing firm where they sell courses about marketing. So I don't think they've really been in the trenches for the last 3 or 4 years, because that shit looked like it was from 2016.
if somebody's begging you to join your team, that tells you their skill level. Anybody who's really high level would never beg you to do anything.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it goes back to you get what you pay for. If you want to have a real business, you need to bring on real talent. And because you are a very technical guy, you need to make sure that these people are even better than you, or else you will do what's happening now, which is you will be policing them and you will be better than them. That $3,000-$4,000 that you were going to give to creators, you should have gotten to an actual marketer to act like invest that money into developing the foundation, and the influencers can come. You don't even need that. You don't even need influencers. All you need is a use case that is viral enough, and you can come up with a bunch of different angles on how to make content. You can get UGC. I know about all this shit. And then you can get this message out there, see how it lands without spending a bunch of money before you can go and then spend more money to validate it.
Okay.
So in business, the thing that people don't get, right, especially coming from a workforce, it's like working, in my opinion, is a lot easier than entrepreneurship. Because like you said, here's the directions. We do all the suffering for you. People don't realize that. The company owner, the CEO, they do all this stuff. They take care of the marketing. They do all of that stuff, and you're just fulfilling a task. But when you're running the business, you have to put all those hats on, be proactive, right? Look at, okay, where are my holes? What can I do? Don't burn through a bunch of money. Let me save you right now. I can save you a fuck ton of money right now. Like, it's going to save you tens of thousands of dollars before you go and pay for influencers to promote your shit, right? I don't know if I should be telling this guy's app out, but he's not giving me any fucking money for this. But there's this app called Tribe where you can essentially pay influencers on commission based on the video that they create. Does that make sense?
Give me just literally 10 seconds, guys. I have another question for you.
Okay, we gotta hurry up because there's other people waiting.
By the way, my company, the baby app, is not tied to me or my social media at all, because as you can see, I'm not being the best parent.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
So
I would say the biggest thing is use case. What is the use case? It's good, bro. It's good. What is the use case that your app is gonna solve for a parent that makes them think that's me? Right? Okay. You need to validate the idea and the messaging and the marketing. Marketing comes before sales. Like, if you cannot generate demand, you don't have a business. You have an idea. Yeah. So that needs to be validated.
I agree. I do agree. I don't know. Pivoting a little bit. I know I told you guys I do social media. I'm a streamer. I'm starting to talk about more business stuff too. And I've been telling people the same thing, that ideas are a dime a dozen. What really matters is execution. So one thing that I do think gives me a little bit more power is that the idea, I came up with it, let's say on a Monday, and by Wednesday, I was writing up the architecture. On Friday, I was already developing the app. The following Friday, the app was done and launched, which is just moving fast.
Yeah.
Which kind of, like I said, kind of aggravated me, because yes, you're right. You get what you pay for. But at the same time, I was expecting the marketing to be ready before the app launched, because as a developer, I already know that usually the marketing campaign is what pushes the app to be released. It's not the other way around. So I just felt like
this person failed. This person failed from the beginning, and you did too, because he didn't ask you the simple question I asked you. Before we even market this, why should people buy this? Why should somebody be interested? We need to understand what the unique mechanisms are, why someone would even click yes before we can generate the marketing. Marketing, at the end of the day, is just psychology around selling your product or service. But if we know what your product or service has and why people would want it, the marketing can get easy.
That makes sense.
So you need somebody to have these tough conversations with you before you go and launch, or go back and reconfigure how exactly this is supposed to work, or define a specific use case for a specific avatar, right? And then you can run the marketing. All right.
Now I do have one more thing, and this is a 2-for-1. the content creation angle. So just like you, I pivoted from what I was doing. I was starting to do like more alpha male stuff. I would react to content. I reacted to like several of your streams. They got like the videos got like tons of views from like reacting to your content, reacting to like Fresh and Fit. I know Walter Weeks. I've hung out with him a bunch of times. So I made videos with him, all kinds of stuff, right? And at some point I felt like it was exhausting emotionally, even though I was getting more views. The channel recently, I mean, I only streamed for like a year. In a year, I had like 6,000 subscribers. The channel's my same name, Scott Leonard. And I felt like I wasn't adding any value. So I pivoted to being like more motivational and just doing live coding, because somebody told me like, yo, you're a developer. Why are you making slop content when you could just make content about what you do for a living? And I'm sure people will be interested in that and will add value. And I started to really think about it. And I realized that I wasn't happy doing the slop content, even though it got more views. But now I find myself in a situation where my channel, I feel like is essentially dead, because all of the momentum from all the slop viewers is gone. And now I'm making streams where I'm like coding and I'm live and I see I have like 5 people watching me, where before I had like
start a new channel.
It hurts though, but I know it's a vanity metrics to look at the subscriber count and be like, oh, I got 6,000 or 7,000 or whatever it is. But it kind of hurts to start over. I don't know.
Nah, man, it doesn't. Vanity metrics are vanity metrics, bro. You want to make money or you want to look good. Like if you want to make money, you start a brand new channel and you focus on same thing, providing value to an audience that cares about whatever it is that you're doing.
Gotcha.
Slop content, I that shit is entertainment. That's why I stopped doing it. You would never see me make a Looks Maxing video ever again. I didn't enjoy doing that shit, because
my thing is that I would do like Discord calls sometimes, and the people that would come in, I would sit there and I would think to myself, these are losers. Like I'm sitting here talking every single night with literal losers, and it's dragging me down. And at some point, you know, as a streamer, you have to stream a lot. So then that starts to become your circle of people. And I started to see myself like, yo, a month ago, I was hanging out with Walter Weeks, Sneeko, driving a McLaren down in Miami, being a baller. And now this year, I'm hanging out with a bunch of fucking losers that are gooning and saying stupid stuff in the chat. And I'm making myself a clown in order to get views. And it's no longer fulfilling. And I feel like I'm trapped.
That's why I don't suggest people make that kind of content. It's the content that gets the most views because it's low IQ content. Most of the world is low IQ. Right, they relate to it, but it's not going to make you any money, and it's going to be demoralizing if you are a high IQ person. So I do have to go. I suggest a couple things, couple checklists. You need a new marketer. You need to define a use case for your app, right? And then you need to start making content around what you actually enjoy doing for a brand new audience on your page. All right?
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks, Bismarck. I appreciate it.
Hey guys, that's why I was telling the previous guy as well. Like, don't let these views confuse you. You want views for something that you actually enjoy. Like, I stopped doing Looks Maxing because I was doing Looks Maxing originally because I wanted to help men get better, but it just attracted the worst possible human beings on the planet. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna ever do this. I was like, I don't give a fuck how many views I get. I would not sit up here and talk to people that don't know that they're supposed to take a bath. That don't know that they're supposed to fucking brush their hair. And like, this is not what I imagined as self-improvement. So I just stopped. Like and that's somebody else saying they went through the same thing. Like, it's no way in the world. So be careful what you go viral for or get views for, because if you're not going to find yourself doing it long term, and I know a lot of creators, I would never say this publicly. I know a lot of creators who have a lot of views and they hate what they fucking do, because they hate the people that they talk to. They don't like it, but they feel like that's the only way they can make a living. So just be careful if you want to build a brand. It might be slower, but if it's more fulfilling, do what's more fulfilling for you, as long as you make the most amount of money.